all parts of the nation they come, as they have been doing for the past 12 years. Early September, here at Indianapolis, Indiana. They're called the dragsters, and they devote their lives to a sport which sends them flashing down a quarter-mile track at better than 200 miles an hour to win a race that lasts just a handful of seconds. The place, Indianapolis Raceway Park. The event, the NHRA Nationals, drag racing's top challenge in the race against time. The Nationals is the World Series of drag racing, the big go, and hundreds of drivers will compete here in 89 class and eliminator categories. Out of 1,300 participants from Maine to Hawaii, just 89 winners. Tough odds. Here are engineers, mechanics, businessmen, eager youngsters, actors, lawyers, you name it, with one thing in common: the event they've been preparing for all year. Each of them has spent every moment he could spare, and probably every dime he couldn't spare, to reach this goal. When a car is torqued, tuned, tested, and adjusted, there is still always something that can be checked and rechecked and polished. Drag racing is a family sport. Why? Because it's all part of America's 50-year love affair with anything on wheels. A romance that will never end as long as people search for a faster, better, safer way to get around. Here at the largest auto racing event ever presented, the combined total horsepower charging through the quarter-mile course totals more than 5 million. That's a lot of horses, and it took a lot to get here. Amateur, semi-pro, or professional racer, all have a tremendous investment in their equipment of time and money, now put to the test of the toughest proving ground anywhere. This all-out strain on engine performance to run smoother, longer, demands STP oil treatment, so the motor oil won't break down under heat and pressure. Super hot or strictly stock drivers protect their investment with the finest lubrication known.
With Underdog, you can win money while watching.
First of all, in drag racing, a car has to be classified. It must be assigned to a specific category and checked and rechecked for strict adherence to NHRA rules for safety. Before anyone can run on the track, NHRA trouble checkers poke and pick over the tremendous list of entries. When the gate was shut, 100 cars failed to make the program, enough to provide a reasonable weekend drag show most anywhere else. The Nationals is not only the biggest, but sets the standards of all other leading drag meets. During the 5-day event at the Nationals, 130,000 fans are on hand to see what the best can do. Drag racing today is big business and serious business. It isn't just a bunch of wild kids tearing up and down a highway. Drivers and mechanics are automotive engineers. Test everything a car can do in just 440 yards. Speed is essential, but control is the most important element of all. Why are the rules so strict? Because there are always some who will try just a little too hard. For the capacity crowd, it's a chance to cheer American automotive ingenuity on parade. A chance to get a close look at mechanics' wizardry and driver skill. All to the sound of ear-splitting sensation. This quarter-mile strip challenges everything a car can do in thousandths of a second. The word is go, go, go! In one day alone, the starter button at the head of the road was punched almost 2,400 times. Run by run, the fight against the clock goes on. If you can't qualify, get beat or foul out, you can pack up and go home. For those who stay in the fight, the goal is the same. To cover the quarter mile in the quickest possible time, called ET, or elapsed time, at the fastest possible speed, called top speed. The competition ranges all the way from production stocks, the kind that you and I drive, to the most exotic combinations of engines, bodies, chassis, and running gear that ingenuity can design. The kings of the quarter mile are the dragsters, invented for super acceleration. Inventiveness in drag racing takes many shapes and forms. The big go means a big stop, and many of the hot or competition cars depend on parachutes to slow them down. After the quarter-mile run, there's only 3/4 of a mile to get back down to earth. After that, you're on your own in the Indiana countryside. At the end of 4 preliminary days of steady, hard racing, there were the happy ones and the unhappy ones. The margin of victory was sometimes very slight, often only 1/1000th of a second. Almost a third of the field had to break all previous records to stay in competition. For those who survived the runoffs and bumping and made their way to victory lane to pick up their class trophies, it was a tremendous achievement for car builder, driver, and equipment. Finals day at the National, when drag racing's annual Eliminator champions are decided. The stake, more than $100,000 in cash and merchandise awards, and the glory of being the best in the world. Again, fans jam spectator areas to see the top stock, top fuel, and 5 other Eliminator champions crowned.
Before we get into the competition, Group Teller of Santa Monica, California is going to take a solo speed dash, trying for the top speed of the meet in the gas-burning dragster. This is not competition, but a speed dash. He's trying for the best elapsed time and the high speed in the gas burner. Group Teller, Santa Monica, California. He's quick. He may have it. The freight train. 2 Chevrolet engines flashing at 193.54 miles an hour. That is the top speed of the meet.
After Roy Goob Tuller's exciting run, the crowd settles back for the competition eliminator semifinal.
The competition with the competition eliminator.
The fuel-injected, non-fendered cars in this bracket are the end of the line for production bodies. The hot rodder is free to develop and test any new ideas in chassis and equipment, providing they meet rigid safety regulations.
At the starting line, we'll set them. Gene Snow, Fort Worth, Texas. The Rambunctious, a 65 Dodge Dart. And a lot of stories about this car. Notice how carefully they move them up there. Move them in, and you'll see the staging lights lit, and then they go thundering away. The competition eliminator. Bill Lawton in the Mustang, squirreled a little bit coming off the starting line in the competition eliminator semifinal. The Rambunctious with Gene Snow, Fort Worth, Texas, is the winner.
Back to the trailer for Bill Lawton, as Gene Snow waits out the other semifinal run.
Dr. Pete Horner, a PhD in mechanical engineering, moving up in his altered roadster. His own fuel injection engine here, a Chevrolet base, burns gas. Greg Gibson coming up in a Chevy-powered rail. A foul call on Pete Horner. So the Greg Gibson Chevy-powered rail is the winner. It'll be Gene Snow and Greg Gibson in the competition eliminator final.
It looks as if records are going to fall today. Here is Steve Evans of NHRA.
Our top speed of the event thus far is 218 miles per hour, and that's turned in just 7.31 seconds over a standing quarter mile. And actually, we're not really into the fierce competition for the cash money, so we expect the speeds to go much higher.
And now, the competition eliminator final.
Competition eliminator, Gene Snow's rambunctious dart out of Fort Worth, Texas. The supercharged gas dragster, Greg Gibson, White Plains, New York. The dragster has the handicap advantage. The big question, can Gene Snow catch him? Yes, he can catch him. 9.04 seconds, 153 plus miles an hour.
Next up, the junior stock finals. The top stockers run about 10 miles an hour faster, but crews of junior stock eliminator cars work just as hard for a shot at their title.
Indianapolis National Drag Racing Championships will go to a new category, the junior stock competition. The tires and exhaust system, about the only difference on these cars from the vehicles that you would see on the street using gasoline for fuel. Dave Kempton out of Arcadia, California. Automatic transmission, 62 Plymouth. Ernie Musser, Reading, Pennsylvania. 4-speed shift Corvette. Flashing down, can he catch him? Close, so close.
Let's take another look at this run and why electronic equipment, accurate to the millisecond, is a must in drag racing today. It couldn't be much closer. Dave Kempton is the winner, the new junior stock eliminator champion. A great run in a tough battle.
Here at Raceway Park, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Next up, after a bit of clowning to ease the tension, the street eliminator semifinals. The top of the line, self-start, drive him on the street type of cars are ready to go.
The modified cars using full street equipment, headlights and horns, that type of equipment. And now we move into the semifinals. Richard Moroso and Ronnie Hassel. Hassel driving the Anglia Coupe. The modified Corvette had the advantage of the handicap. It'll be close. And the Anglia Coupe could not catch him as Moroso and the Corvette won one semifinal round of the street eliminator. And now here is Joe Lunati from Memphis, Tennessee, driving a hybrid sports car. He's required to make the run solo just to keep the wear and tear equal on the vehicles. So in the finals, in the street eliminator, it'll be Joe Lunati of Memphis, Tennessee.
And the pressure mounts. Nick Marshall, with a top speed so far of 218, is not satisfied.
Well, we're going to try. We had to shut it off early yesterday. We lost the valley cover gasket and got sideways in the lights, so we'll be trying for 220 today or tomorrow.
What goes through your mind when you're in trouble out there, Nick?
Well, you're just pretty busy. You don't think too much. You're just trying to, survive and keep it straight. So there's not a whole lot you can do.
Are you still making adjustments to find the answers?
Well, we're going to kill a little bottom end horsepower. The car's got a little bit too much on the line. We're going to try to run a little faster on the other end.
Otherwise, you're satisfied.
Right, real satisfied.
I'm not from this country.
And now we go to the street eliminator finals. Joe Lunati, Memphis, Tennessee, in his hybrid sports car. Dick Moroso in his Corvette from Old Greenwich, Connecticut. Lunati's machine, that's some kind of creation, isn't it? Dick Moroso off the line with a handicap advantage. The question is, will Lunati be able to catch him at the top end of the stretch? And he does. Joe Lunati winning. Speed 133.
This year, a super eliminator bracket has been added to the separate supercharged class winners from those that aren't supercharged.
We go to the supercharged eliminator division. Many types of supercharged automobiles. Semifinals. Eugene Atkins, Memphis, Tennessee, in a fuel dragster. Vince Tarantola, Ridgewood, New Jersey, in a super coupe. Dragster's got to catch up. To do it, he'll have to go 200 miles an hour. Did he do it? Yes, he did. Let's stop the action on the finish line to see just how really close it was. Gene Atkins just winning. Now the crowd settles down for the semifinal, second semifinal in the super eliminator. Jim Mahalik, Parma, Ohio, gas dragster. Joe Davis, Campbell, California, driving a Mustang. This should be quick. This young lady has her favorite. Gas dragster comes splashing down, and the dragster wins, and this young lady is unhappy. Oh, well, back to the drawing board. And now the Super Eliminator Finals. In the near lane, Jim Halleck in a dragster burning gas. In the far lane, Eugene Atkins in a dragster burning nitromethane. And you've got a red light, a foul on Eugene Atkins. So the number 2 car over the finish line, Jim Halleck, wins it. And the name of the game is transportation. And we go now to the top gas eliminator competition. Jim Minnick and Bobby Vodnick competing for the right to meet John Reed. And the winner, Jim Minnick, better than 186 miles an hour.
On hand for the action is one of the racing giants, A.J. Foyt, Indianapolis winner. A.J., how would you contrast oval track and drag racing?
Well, the biggest thing in our type of racing, you run 200 mile an hour down a straightaway and you have to go through a corner around 150 or 60. So you do have, I think, a few more problems, but it's awful hard to get one of these cars to run 200 straight, too. So I imagine they put in just as much work on their cars as we do, or maybe not more.
And now for the top gas eliminator. These slingshots share top billing with their nitro-burning counterparts.
Jim Minnick in the near lane from Nitro, West Virginia. John Reed of Decatur, Georgia in the far lane. This is for the championship and the top gas eliminators, and these fellows will be way up in their speeds. And Jim Minnick waving his arms. He knows he's got it won. John Reed, he jumped too quick.
And Jim Minnick is the top gas eliminator champion, putting on a great show for the fans.
This is my first, but I'm quite impressed with this one.
Oh, it's just fabulous. All the fun and fast speed.
Oh, the speed, and my husband drives.
If you can't sing and you can't dance, you can always get you a fast car, come to the drag.
And come they do, from 49 states.
Represented in the driving corps, we're set now for the semifinals in this top stock competition, 4-speed ship. His competition comes from Don Grothier, Oklahoma City, 66 Plymouth, also 4-speed. The winner, Bill Jenkins, better than 118 miles an hour. Semifinals, Jerry Stahl in the white Plymouth, 66 4-speed. Richard Charbonneau, St. Paul, Minnesota, 66 Plymouth, automatic transmission. And Jerry Stahl from York, Pennsylvania wins it. So we go to the finals. It'll be Jerry Stahl and Bill Jenkins for the top.
Almost every factory was represented in this competition. Fords, Chevys, Dodges, Plymouths.
And now the top stock finals. Jerry Stahl in the white Plymouth, York, Pennsylvania. Bill Jenkins, Chevy 2, Berwyn, Pennsylvania. This a big moment.
Jerry Stahl scores an impressive win for top stock eliminator. Speed, 119.68. The 12th Nationals marches on with more records and more close contests than ever before.
And now here come the big boys, the top fuel eliminators, the wind-up event in the National Drag Racing Championships. In the far lane, Don Westerdale, Ferndale, Michigan. Near lane, Danny Ungaius, Carlsbad, California. And Don Westerdale's dragster did not start. He's out of it. They roll him away. It's a tough sport. You come to that line fired and ready to go, or else you're out. Westerdale is out. So Ungaius moves into the semifinals. Don Prudhomme and John Mulligan move up for the semifinal run here, contesting for the semifinal position. Prudhomme in the far lane, Mulligan closest to us. They're ready to go. Prudhomme winning, better than 210 miles an hour. Mulligan seemed to veer to the left side of the track, and he lost a valuable split second. So Prudhomme is the winner.
This is the cockpit of the car to beat in Top Fuel. Steering mechanism, the handbrake, the parachute release, the Hawaiian. The fuel dragster bidding for a fourth successive title is the sit-out car. Driver Mike Snively, by virtue of being top qualifier, waits to race the semifinals winner.
It'll be the final moment right here for one of these two. Danny Ungais, Carlsbad, California. Don Prudhomme, Granada Hills, California. Prudhomme in the far lane, Ungais in the near lane. Buster Couch setting them for the start. This is the semifinal. The winner goes against the Hawaiian in the final. And it's Danny Ungais winning. Hawaiian-born Danny Ungais from Carlsbad, California, wins the right to go against the Hawaiian dragster driven by Mike Snively. It's an exciting moment for Danny Ungais as he beats a veteran Don Prudhomme. And the crew waiting for him as he wheels off the track. An excited crew. The sit-out car has never lost in national competition. And as Danny Ungais hops out of that cockpit, he knows he's got a big moment coming.
For those who have to fight their way to the finals, there is no let-up for tired driver and mechanic, and perhaps tired equipment.
And so we move to the final event of the 12th National Drag Racing Championship, Raceway Park, Indianapolis, Indiana. In the near lane, the Hawaiian, the sit-out car. And remember, a sit-out car has never lost in the national championship. In the far lane, a Honda, Danny Ungais, both Californians. This is the final event. This is the big moment. Buster Couch, the starter, sets them. They're ready. And they're almost together as they flash over the finish line. Let's wait a moment and see what the arrow points to. The near lane, that's the Hawaiian. The car continues its remarkable success. Mike Snively winning. Danny Ungais circling off the track is a close second. Here comes the Hawaiian. Keith Black, the man who built up the engine. Roland Leong, the man who owns the car, and the man who drove it to victory. Mike Snively, San Bernardino, California. Tremendously exciting finish.
So exciting, let's go back and take a second look. And we're told that there was actually a foul on the part of Danny Ungais, but neither man knew it, and they both went full bore. Mike Snively, the winner, had a fantastic 215.8 miles per hour, and so close at the finish that the Hawaiian was a veritable blue streak as it flashed over the line. So ended the 12th edition of the Nationals, unmatched in color, size, and excitement. Into the winner's circle goes the Hawaiian, with as proud a crew as can be found anywhere. This is their second major win this year. Mechanic Keith Black had said, "I just can't believe it can be done twice in a row." But for Mike Snively, the kiss is real. And for car owner Roland Leong, real too are the cash and merchandise prizes. Real also is the fact that Snively and all other top eliminators and runners-up banked on SDP oil treatment in getting all the power and performance built into their engines, just as millions and millions of motorists do throughout the world in cars like yours.